Hi guys, and welcome to lesson 7 of our web development unit. Today we're going to continue to look at the div elements, and we're going to look at IDs, classes, and the external style sheets again. Firstly, just kind of looking at the exercise we have to do, and what I'm going to do is just briefly give an example of how to complete one flag. So this is called Flags of the World. So what we're going to do is use 4 div elements, as we can see here. One div element that controls our outline to have a black outline, and then there'll be 3 div elements inside it that we're going to produce the colours. We're looking to produce a flag like this, and the task is asking us to produce flags for Netherlands, Russia, Armenia, and Germany. Okay, so those are the 4 flags that we're going to produce. We'll go through a practical demonstration of how to produce the Netherlands one, and then it'll be up to you guys to look at the Russia, Armenia, and Germany flags yourself. So that's a brief look at the actual task itself. Popping over to Notepad++, or brackets, whatever you're using if you're on Mac. You can see I've kind of laid out the web page here as follows. We've got a heading and H1 heading, and we've got a title in there. And the first flag I'm going to create is that Netherlands flag. Okay, so again, I'm going to open with my div tag, and I'm going to close that div tag as well. Okay, so this is my first flag. So this is going to be the outline, okay, within that flag. Okay, so again, it says here the class equals outline, and we can see here there's the class that's going to be within our external style sheet. So there's really 3 parts of this, actually: creating the HTML, creating the style sheet, and then linking them. We're in here, I'm going to put class equals outline. Okay, so that's don't need the spaces in there actually. That's the outline div created for the Netherlands flag. Now within this, we're going to create another 3 div sets of div tags. I'm going to close them as well. Okay, and this one is going to be red, white, and then blue in terms of the Netherlands. So we'll create one, and then what I'm going to do is just copy and paste that. Okay, so class equals. So the first one was red. Make sure there's no wee typos like I've just made there. So that'll do the first one. If you want to put a wee bit of white space so that you can clearly identify one div tag inside the other, then go ahead. So I'm just going to copy that. Okay, so you can highlight that and you can go edit and copy, and I'm just going to paste that down, and I'm going to change the red to white, and again I'm going to go edit and paste. I'm going to paste that further one in, just put that wee bit, and we've got blue. Okay, so there's our first flag there. So that's the HTML part all set up. Okay, so I'm going to save that, our index, and I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to set the language of this new file to CSS. Okay, so the new language is set there to CSS. So then what we want to do is we want to build these CSS rules. So the first rule I'm going to put in is the dot outline. So it's a class. Remember, the classes start with a dot, IDs start with a hashtag. Okay, so again, just for clarity, each of these divs we want to make the same height and width so that the flag looks even. And the thing that we're going to change within each of the rules is the colour. Okay, but we'll start with the outline. Okay, so the border style is solid and the width is 800. Okay, so we'll go dot outline, our curly brackets in. Okay, and again, just to get clarity, their border style is solid. Okay, border style, solid, close that, and what were the other rules there? Width was 800. Is 800, is it px? Yep, 800 px. I'm just close that. Okay. Now at the moment, okay, I'm just going to call this style. I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to call that style. I'm just going to call that style, save it in my folder. So at the moment, we won't see any difference if I run the web page. I can see that we have our flags of the world here website. We can see flags of the world head, and we can see the Netherlands, but we don't actually see anything else, okay, within that. All right, so just popping back to Notepad++. Okay, next thing we want to do is create the styles for red and so on. So dot red, again, we should be able to do this once and then copy the style. So background colour, remember colour spelled C-O-L-O-R, it's the American spelling of colour that we're using, and that's red. What other rules do we have? The height and the width are 200 and 800 px. Okay, height is 200 px and width is 800 px. Okay, so there's one rule set up. We're going to change, we're going to edit, we're going to copy, just come down a few return lines, and we're going to paste that in, and we're going to change the rule to white. Okay, the name of the actual class, and we're going to change the colour to white so it's the same. Okay, and again, if we do a few return lines and we go edit and paste, and we can see that this is going to be blue. Okay, and we can change that to blue. Okay, and again, I'm just going to save my style sheet. So we've done two parts now. We've done our HTML, where we've laid out our flag, and we have done the styling, which will be applied to that. Now, the next part is to do with linking those style sheets, and for that, you need to refer back to last week's lesson. Okay, and probably last week's lesson material. So if you open the web page there, and you can see how you actually link that web page between the index page and the style. Show you how you actually link the style sheet to it externally. So on looking at last week's material, we'll see in this slide here that we can see in this part here shows us how to actually link that external style sheet. So we use the link, okay, and we tell it it's a style sheet, the type of text CSS, and then the href, we tell it the name of our style sheet, which remember, our style sheet and our web page must be in the same folder so that they can link. So this one's called My Style, ours is called style. Okay, so within the head of our document, remember, so under the title, okay, we are going to create that link now. So we'll go link, okay, equals style sheet. Okay, so there's the first part, okay, of that for us. All right, so that's correct, and then we're going to tell it the type, which is equal to text / CSS. Okay, so we'll go and do that. So type equals inverted commas text / CSS. Okay, again, within that, and then the href is equal to, as it's called, style.css. Okay, and we close off that link. Okay, and we'll just double check. We've got that in. Yep, we've closed off that link. That looks good. Okay, everything looks all right there. So we save our web page. Now's the time for testing. So again, this was our web page. This is what we've seen. We've saved our file, so if we refresh it, we should see now that our flag will appear. Okay, now you can adjust this to fit multiple flags on your web page if you like. So for example, how would I go about adjusting that to make that flag a wee bit smaller? Okay, well, I'll go back and I would go into my style sheet, and I would perhaps change that to, let's say, 100 and 400. And I would need to do that, remember, for them all, because we want them to be balanced. Okay, and also the border style we would need to change to 400 to match these widths. So if I save that, okay, and again I go back to my web page, you can see that we've reduced the size of that, and you might want to keep your flags slightly smaller. I don't mind in terms of you changing the size, as long as that concept is working for you. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the first part, kind of laying out your flag, and then what I would be looking for you to do is a bit of white space. Okay, so let's say we were going to do Germany, another heading, Germany. Okay, you might want to put a line breaker or two in. Okay, to kind of separate them, which is fine. You go Germany, and then you would do your layout again. And again, don't reinvent the wheel. What you can do is you can copy and you can paste this. So edit, copy, and then you can paste that structure in. All you have to do is you have to change the names of these colours and provide appropriate rules. If you are using the same colour, so for example, let's look at our task sheet. So we are going to be using white, blue and red for Russia. Okay, we don't have to apply new rules because we've already got rules for white, blue and red set. Armenia, red and blue, again we've already got rules set. We just need a new rule for orange. And for Germany, black, red and gold. We've already got one for red, but we need to do black and gold. Okay, so we don't have the same style multiple times within the spreadsheet. We reuse it. That's one of the advantages. Okay, guys, I hope that makes sense. I hope you've learned something new about CSS and classes and how to link them again. So it's good practice. Good luck with your task.